Hi there. Just a heads up, you'll hear me call this podcast Nerdy Tangents. This is no longer true. This episode is now part of the Nerdy Afterlife multiverse. Basically, anytime I call the podcast Nerdy Tangents or ask you guys to send us an email to nerdytangents@gmail.com, ignore that. With all that said, I hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone,
Okay,
and
so
welcome to Nerdy Tangents, episode 0. I am Julian with my buddy John. How are you, John?
I'm great. I'm about to
How do
fucking
you, how,
eviscerate your asshole over this like stupid debate we're about to have.
how do you feel about romance, John?
No, so that's not the question that was originally posed. I firmly for context, I firmly plan to let the right one in as a horror romance. I think it is unambiguously that. You hard disagree. I am just, you know, I'm preemptively a little on edge about this debate because I think genre debates in general are always kind of a shit show, and they always end up being like, okay, well, genre is meaningless. But I still feel like this is a hill I have to die on. That Let the Right One In is a romance movie.
This is literally the first day I've ever heard someone use the phrase horror romance. This is the first time because when you say horror romance, I think like what, like the Addams Family or some shit.
Adam's Family is horror sitcom.
Okay, this is all news. I didn't know you could like mix mash genres like that. This is news to me. Force whatever, which is weird.
Okay, at bare minimum, you can say that sci-fi fantasy properties do exist. The original Dragon Ball is a I'm going to argue a sci-fi fantasy adventure.
Okay, I'll admit that. But going all the way back to Let the Right One In, going all the way back to that. So
Yes.
horror romance. I'm trying to like mention. So like, what would Bride of Frankenstein, that old flick, would that count as like horror romance?
Yes, I agree. And I think the issue that you might have and many other people have when I say stuff like this is horror does not need to be scary. Something can be horror and not scary. Horror can just be about like the set design or the way the film is dressed. Like
Well, I get that. So like I'm imagining like not Evil Dead. What's it called? Army of Darkness. Like that had horror-esque elements of kind of like monsters, whatever. But it's like more of like a campy horror action adventure, right? Of like what's it called? Like the guy with the chainsaw hands. You know the name of the character I'm talking about? Army of
I know what you're
Darkness.
talking about. I haven't seen Army of Darkness, but I know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah,
It's a decent movie. You should watch it.
I know. It's on my list.
Everything's on your fucking list.
It really is.
Okay, but I get what you mean of like having different combinations of that. But in terms of because combining romance and horror, like my experience has been like if horror can just be set dressing and like kind of like atmosphere and mood, my understanding then is like horror romance generally leads harder on the romance in terms of like how the plot is driven than the horror. So like I'm imagining like say a shoujo manga with like vampires or whatever, like Vampire Night or shit like that. Sure, the setting is horror-esque of having vampires and blood drinking and like maybe some kind of like life or death situation, but the driving force of the narrative, the way the narrative is shaped, is still centered around the romance. My understanding of Let the Right One In is way too not subtle, but it's way too like not vague. Like because like when I think back to watching it, none of the scenes gave me a sort of romantic vibe as like say Vampire Nights or Bride of Frankenstein did. You know what I mean? It seemed more kind of like almost like when I think of a scene, I didn't feel like oh like warm fuzzies and like butterflies in the stomach. I felt more of like oh someone's about to die. You know what I mean? Like it
The
felt like
boy
eerie.
literally the Oscar literally confesses his love.
That doesn't well
Like the whole story is Oscar falling in love with the vampire and the vampire in like his own fucked up way falling in love with Oscar slash using him as food getter.
no, but that's what I would disagree with you. I don't like. Okay, maybe I need to rewatch it. I don't feel that it's properly established that the little girl actually is actually falling in love with him or is just becoming attached to him.
It doesn't I already said this. It doesn't matter if the
No,
girl.
bullshit. If it is a romance, it does fucking matter.
No, because you can have a one-sided romance. You can have like I don't understand why a movie is suddenly not a romance movie to you if it's a one-sided romance.
If it's a one-sided romance, it feels more like a tragedy than a romance, right?
Okay, 500 Days of Summer, per the example that you would use prior to this podcast.
No, 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 no. That's different. You want to know why? Because towards in the end of the movie, he falls in love with fall. So no, he falls in love with autumn. So go fuck
So
yourself. He moves on.
you're saying if you cut out the ending of 500 Days of Summer, it's not a romance movie?
I think it's a romance only in the sense that it has like the setting, like right, to quote you, the setting and set dressing are romantic, but what's driving the plot isn't necessarily like him finding like love. It's more of him discovering in himself what it means to properly fall in love by getting rejected, by having this
Yes,
relationship quote unquote falling apart.
that's still a romantic driver for the plot.
Okay. Okay, wait. Let me try to like consolidate why.
I don't understand. Like all of your genre definitions have like this purity to them. Like if it's horror, it has to be like bloody, gory, and scary. If it's romantic, they have to like kiss in the sunset at the very end. Like you
No, no,
can.
no, 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 no. Come on,
like,
no, bullshit. Fuck you. Don't mischaracterize me. Look, all I'm saying is that in terms of romance, I expect it to be some like properly established, not reconciliation, like return of interest, right? From my opinion, from my point of view, it wasn't properly established firmly that she feels the same way about Oscar as Oscar does about her. That's why when I left the theater, I came away thinking, okay, maybe a romance, but also possibly more of a like an unwitting horror. I say unwitting.
It's both. You haven't just explained to me why a one-sided romance disqualifies it from being a romance.
Okay. Why one-sided romance doesn't? I guess to me, seeing a one-sided romance doesn't give like okay. When I think of a romance movie, generally romance movies are meant to give you like warm fuzzies, kind of like butterfly feelings. I understand there's tragedies with romance. I understand there's whole romances and like thriller romances, etc. I get that, right? In this instance, to me, like because more often than not, one-sided romances have often been used in the realm of like in like I don't know if you saw like this old movie. It's one where like fucking like this one guy obsesses over a woman, but he kills his pregnant wife to get with her. It's like a weird noir-ish kind of I forget the name of it. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
On the 40s. Shit, I'll get it to you later on. I've more often than not, I've seen one-sided romances either devolve into kind of like where the plot is concerned, where the plot is focused less on having the like mutual relationship kind of foster and more having the main character kind of discover in themselves like how they can like deal with these feelings without like having them properly returned via their like object of affection. Does that make sense? So in the case of the horror romance of that 40s movie, you know, he ended up killing his wife and he then gets caught by the police and the woman is like drives off not knowing shit. In the case of 500 Days of Summer, he more or less didn't learn shit, but it's established that he's going to like go on with someone who may return them in a new way, hence autumn. In this case, it's a one-sided romance, but like it's okay. I agree with you. It's a one-sided romance. My only issue is that when I think of romance, general term, I feel okay. I strongly believe the common understanding among like if we did like a survey, the common understanding is that it would be a situation when two people may have mutual feelings for one another, but due to some mishap or misunderstanding or some like obstacle, they can't probably communicate or won't understand each other, right? But where what is driving the plot is them reconciling these affections. My understanding from Let the Right One In is that that is not what is driving the plot. What is driving the plot is a sort of mismatched of not intentions but of motivations. Oscar wants to get with the girl just wants to keep on feeding and not get caught. This is a mismatch in what they want. I agree with you. I agree with you with one-sided romance.
Actually what's a good example for what you're describing that
go for
it's
it.
not it's not good for my point, but it's good for your point, which I kind of hate.
Go for it.
It's like I guess it'd be the same as if I said Great Gatsby is a romance, which I don't know that you can say it is. And I don't know if it's because it's one-sided or because
to be clear, I'm fine having one-sided romance be a term like a subgenre in romance. My only issue is that like it doesn't evoke the same feelings as a general romance does, right?
Okay, you know what? I agree with you. I think in the same way that you can define horror purely through the set dressing, what you're essentially describing is romantic set dressing. You need a certain atmosphere with the movie for it to be romance to you. I think that's fair. And I'll say that like you can have a romantic of course you can have a romantic, like Venom has a romantic, subplot that doesn't make it a romance movie. I mean, it does between Eddie Brock and the symbiote, but that's another story.
They're just bros, man. They're roommates, man. They're just like bros loving on each other, man.
Did you fucking see someone edited this trailer where they basically changed, I think, the music and the narration for the original Venom movie into like like a summer romance, like this summer, two dudes will find romance in each other or something, and
No,
they
you have to
basically
send me
dress
that.
the
No, you
whole
have to send
film
me
as
that.
huh?
No, you have to send me that though.
Dude, it's hilarious. Whoever did like the editing for that trailer is a genius. They basically just twisted the whole thing as a romance, as I'm describing. But back to what I was saying before, I like that. Yeah, having a subplot that's romantic, like Great Gatsby or Venom or whatever, does not make your movie a romance movie. I'm going to disagree though and say that in Let the Right One In, it is still a romance movie, and because it's like the romantic aspect of the movie is not the subplot. It's literally what drives the movie forward. Is that Oscar loves her. I keep saying her, and I feel really bad, but I don't remember the girl's name. But whatever.
Wait.
And I know it's not a girl, but again, whatever. Don't at me.
Live Wikipedia research on this podcast only, kids. Apologies if you can hear my keyboard. It's a mechanical one because
I can hear it a little bit, but it's okay.
Oscar, I think her name is Ellie.
Ellie. Okay, yeah, I knew it started with an E. Yes, Ellie. Yeah, and Ellie, and I think this is cleared up in the books, but I'm going to, for the sake of this, I'm going to treat the movie as its own experience because that's what it is.
Of course, yeah.
So it's left ambiguous at the end what Ellie is into Oscar for. Is it the fact that he is, her personal hunter, or is there like a personal affection aspect to it or whatever? That's purposely ambiguous, but I don't think that ambiguity takes away from the romance. In fact, I think that ambiguity is how the horror and the romance come together, is that there is a romantic relationship, but there's a predatory aspect to it. That's how the two genres come together.
Okay, I agree with you that it's how the two genres come together. I guess, okay. My only issue, maybe I misunderstood you. When you said it is a romance, you're not saying it is solely a romance, right? Like
no, it's horror romance. I'm firmly planting it in those two genres, horror romance.
Would you at least agree with me that it is like at least like 50-50 horror romance? Would you agree with me on that or no?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would say 50-50 is a fair way to split up the percent.
Because I do understand and agree with your point that every time we're approaching Oscar's perspective, aside from when he's bullied, he is most of the time thinking about Ellie. Now, we'll switch to Ellie's perspective. It is like you agree with me. It's like most often, if not like a kind of like horror, maybe survival horror of her surviving from the authorities and then sending out her older caretaker to like die and get food or some shit, right?
Yeah, it's two different. There's two different spectrums here that collide and make it. It's kind of the same way that Stranger Things is both a horror and a kid's adventure coming of age story. It's two different. The story operates on two different spectrums, and when those spectrums meet, that's how it makes its identity. That's how it's defined. Let the Right One In is uniquely horror romance in that regard, and that it is the merging of those two. It is the merging of those two spectrums.
If I got my way, I would still add like a little subtitle or like in parentheses of like horror / one-sided romance, because I do feel like there's a meaningful distinction between like proper like two people or more coming together and like returning affections versus like only one party pursuing one for clearly stated romantic intentions, whereas the other party is kind of like left a bit kind of like ambiguous at best.
Okay, so the question you're really asking is, does Twilight, which I think it's fair to say, and again, this is not commentary on how good of a film or book or whatever.
I mean, if you want, my neighbor's a diehard fan. Like I'll call her over and we can make it a 3-way debate if you want.
I'm totally okay. Listen, I was already a middle school degenerate and read all the books.
Wow.
I can't believe I admitted that publicly.
Damn, bro. I only got to like movie 3. I didn't even like touch the books. Damn.
I didn't like the movies. I always thought they were awful, but I actually did enjoy the books when I was in middle school. I'm not afraid to admit that. But I'm just again, what I'm trying to say is I'm not right now. I'm not making commentary on the quality of those books or movies. I'm saying unambiguously, I think Twilight is a horror romance. And that again, people. This is such a weird concept to people. Giving someone like the label of your favorite genre does not dilute that genre. Twilight has vampires and werewolves. I'm gonna characterize it as horror. I love horror, but
sure.
Again, I'm not gonna like go crazy because Twilight is taking that genre label from me or whatever. I don't know why people feel that way sometimes, but so in Twilight's case, it's not a one-sided romance like Bella and Edward or whatever. They like each other, so it's a horror romance firmly. So by your definition, you're saying that there needs to be a meaningful genre distinction between Twilight and Let the Right One In.
Not that there needs to be, but I feel like there should be. Well, in my case, in my perspective, there is, but in your case, I feel like I need to advocate for that. There should be meaningful distinction between Twilight as a whole romance and yeah, Let the Right One In as a romance. Because in one case, Twilight, it is firmly established that it is reciprocated. Let the right one in, the ambiguity calls that into question, right? Because if you take it firmly from like if you rewrote the whole movie, if you reshot it solely from Ellie's perspective, I don't think how I feel like it would come across much more strongly, unambiguously as a tragedy. Here is a girl trying to survive, and through some mishaps, she gets another boy, attached to her through whatever reason, through bullying and like loneliness or whatever. Then she loses the caretaker, and then just takes him on. No expression of his feelings, but just like her trying to survive and through whatever like stuff like that. If it was reshot from her perspective solely, it'll come across much more strongly as a tragedy with no romance whatsoever.
I disagree. I hard disagree with
Okay,
that.
okay, why?
There is a romantic aspect between her and her previous, whatever you want to call him, her previous companion.
I call him caretaker because like that's how it came across to me when I was watching it.
Sure, let's say caretaker. There is a romantic, like there's a scene where Ellie's like bickering at him like a pissed off wife almost, and he's like kind of just like sitting there and taking like their relationship almost reads as like husband and wife that hate each other.
Okay. So there's probably a difference between like how we saw it, because when I saw it, I already knew it was like a vampire film, like that someone could describe it to me. When I saw her bickering at him, I saw it more as like similar to like Dracula chastising like Igor's like assistant, like whatever, like stuff like that, like his minions, more than this kind of like mutual bickering you might see in a
Again,
couple.
I think I agree with you. It does fit that mold.
No,
But I
no, no,
think
no, no,
the
no,
fact
no,
that
no,
it
no, no, no,
flies
but
the
no,
line-
no. But I'm saying like when I saw that same scene that you did, it came across to me more as like a kind of like a master slave dynamic more than like a husband wife dynamic. That's what I'm saying. Because I knew as a vampire, I saw her as like a mini Dracula. That was her like chastising her minion more than like a wife chastising her husband. That's what I'm saying.
I get you. But I'm saying the fact that you can interpret it either way, as Frankenstein chastising Igor and as pissed off wife chastising husband. I think the fact that it rides the line between those two interpretations is exactly what makes it a horror romance. Is that you play with these kind of like dichotomies of how you frame these interactions.
Okay,
Is it a
okay,
terrifying interaction? Is it a romantic interaction? I don't know. You don't. It's not totally clear on first viewing a lot of the times. I think that's what really plants it firmly in this genre category that I'm putting it in.
no. To be clear, I'm fine categorizing as a whole romance. I just want to like be like a nitpick and go like horror slash parentheses one-sided romance.
I don't know if whatever. All right, when you open up your Blockbuster video, you can put in a little section that says one-sided romance.
Hey man, it might be booming. You never know. Like all the people who sympathize with the guy from 500 Days of Summer, maybe they'll be into that. You never know.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get lots of business on Valentine's Day.
Or the day after.
Yeah, depending on how the events of Valentine's Day go for some people.
Okay, I do agree with you that is a whole romance though. Wait, aside from Let the Right One In and Wife of Frankenstein, sorry, Bride of Frankenstein, what other whole romances do you appreciate? Because most of my examples come from manga and anime. I don't know if you delved into that arena as
I don't know
well.
that I know that many horror romances, to be honest. I hold on, let me look it up. Horror. I definitely haven't. Well, actually, you know what? What is one that I do know?
Mhm.
There's a Junji Ito story where, man, a lot of the things that are coming up as horror romance are not horror romance at all. Like
Wait,
a
like
quiet
what?
place. Quiet Place is not a horror romance. I don't know who the fuck categorized it as that. It is absolutely not that.
Wait, is a Quiet Place the one with the invisible monsters, or is a Quiet Place more with the blind guy with the shotgun?
No, the blind guy with the shotgun is like, I think, oh, fuck. I don't.
You know what I'm talking about though, right? You know what I'm talking
I know
about.
exactly. I saw the movie. I don't remember the name of it. I wanted to say Hush, but it's not Hush. Hush is the one with the lady who's deaf.
Sorry, you said Hush. I thought of Batman Hush.
That can be a whole other episode in of itself. But yeah, a lot of the ones that I'm holy. Okay, Bride of Chucky. That's horror romance.
Never seen a Chucky film.
I've seen all, God, I think 7 or whatever it was.
Jesus
And
Christ.
I'm gonna recommend to our viewers. I think the first Chucky is a lot of fun, or sorry, Child's Play is a lot of fun. And then I think my opinion of it is that like it starts off really good, and then I think like the next 3 movies are like kind of no. First and second one are fun. That's what I remember because that's where the kid who's getting terrorized by Chucky. He's still a kid there. And then I think like I don't know, like 3 or 4, they like suck. And then there's a point where they go full camp. It's like Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, where it just becomes like total horror comedy. You can argue that again, Bride of Chucky is horror comedy romance. I'd give it those 3 labels, and I think those are great films. And then I think they tried going serious again. Their first retry when it was serious was just awful. I like hated everything about it. It was just atrocious. So it's a very up and down, like as most, you know, long running horror, you know, franchises are. It goes through up and down.
Yeah, like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street or
Nightmare. Okay, I'm throwing this out there for all Nightmare on Elm Street fans. The only good ones, in my opinion, are the ones directed by Wes Craven. Everything else you can skip. If it's not directed by Wes Craven, it's not worth watching.
I was always way too scared to watch them, so I don't know which ones are directed by Wes Craven. All I know is that he's very scary and pops in your dreams. So I was like,
"Fuck." You watched horror movies with me.
No, but like, have I watched Friday Night I'm mixing my shit. Nightmare on Elm Street? I don't think so. I don't think we watched that together.
We didn't watch it together, but I know you're physically capable of watching horror movies because I've seen you watch them. So I don't understand.
Okay, wait. Are you talking about Train to Busan?
We watched Train to Busan and that Iranian film together.
Okay, but that's like, okay, I can't explain it, but like, I don't know, like Freddy Krueger just like, it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Have you tried not being an enormous pussy? I find that normally helps.
Shut the fuck up. Listen. For some reason, I find a horde of zombies more tolerable than one man with fucking scissor hands. No. One guy with one scissor hands.
I don't know. I think there are scarier things out there than Freddy Krueger, in my opinion. But if that's everyone draws the line somewhere, so I'll respect wherever you draw your line.
Listen, I just shut the fuck up, okay?
All right, so wait, just to back up for a second. A Quiet Place. It's the one with the guy from The Office. And he's like, there are like these creatures, and if you make a sound, the creatures instantly come to you and they'll like kill you or whatever.
Yeah, with invisible aliens or creatures or whatever. Yeah, reminds
They're
me
not invisible. Like you see them, they're just like super fast or whatever, and you only see them at like the end of the movie. Which, by the way, that movie was very overrated in my opinion. Extremely overrated.
I haven't even seen it. I remember seeing the trailer. I thought like, okay, this might be interesting because it reminded me of the creatures from. I don't know if you played the video game series Crisis.
No, but I remember, I still remember back in the days of yore when Crisis was used as the barometer for how good your pussy was.
Yeah. No, because like in the original creatures and the original antagonists in Crisis with the aliens, they had a feature of like turning invisible and only like turning like visible when they had to like attack you. We copied their technology in the game and then like they replicated it via the nanosuit. So when I saw the trailer, when I saw how like you can like hear the sounds and then freaked out, it reminded me of like the Crisis games of like, oh, when you heard them like walking, it's like, oh shit, they're around. Like start.
I mean, okay, spoiler for anyone listening who hasn't seen The Quiet Place. I'm going to spoil what the monster looks like. It looks like a big spider. Like it's not that impressive. And I'm like, as someone that really enjoys creature features, I found the design very uninspired and kind of boring.
Did you see the Shane Black Predator film, the most recent one?
The Black Predator film?
No, the Shane Black Predator film. The like Shane Black is the name of the other director.
Oh, was that the super recent remake or whatever?
Yeah, did you see that one?
No, I've seen for Predator. I've seen the original, and I've seen Predator v Alien.
You're the only person I've met who called it Predator v Alien and not Alien v Predator.
Oh,
why? Why you like this?
Probably states my bias. I think Predator is cooler than Alien.
I mean, I agree, but like respect the director who made it out to be Alien vs Predator. Like aliens come, like it's basic alphabet shit. A comes.
Listen,
before,
we're having a
A comes before P.
Listen, we were having a conversation about Predator, so he was at the forefront of my mind.
Sure. Mm-hmm. No, but you haven't seen the most recent Predator though.
I haven't.
Okay, apparently it's like universally shit on. I enjoyed it I enjoyed it like a lot. Personally, I enjoyed it.
I just, you know what, I just don't fuck with new remakes. Like I don't even feel like I need to explain why, because I feel like it's a topic that's just been beaten to death so much. There's like no point.
I mean, like some remakes are interesting, right? Because we got the recent Spider-Man: Homecoming, which is a remake of the previous Spider-Man films.
No, what?
No?
Spider-Man: Homecoming is not a remake.
Wait. Is there like what's the difference between remake or reboot or reimagining?
So a reboot is where you're taking an existing franchise and doing it over again. So what's in it like? I would say that Spider-Man: Homecoming, I guess, is a reboot of Spider-Man. It's a reboot of a character. It's a new version of a character that's separate from the Garfield and Garfield
Maguire.
and Raimi, or sorry, Maguire, Garfield and Maguire universes. Whereas in this case, actually, I guess I haven't seen the new Predator film, so I don't know if it qualifies as a remake or a reboot. But so like the female Ghostbusters, that's a reboot because it didn't exist in the continuity of the original Ghostbusters.
Oh, so
A
the most recent.
remake, would be like oh god, I think there's like a remake of The Wicker Man. The Fly was a remake. The Thing, the 80s version of The Thing is a remake of a 50s film. It's you're following the story beats of an older film and redoing it with updated whatever technology, and it's a new adaptation of the same story.
Wait, so would the 2000s RoboCop movie be a remake of the original one, or no? Would that kind of a reboot?
I didn't watch it, and
Don't. It's garbage.
my policy is all 80s properties that we keep bringing back, just fucking stop. I don't want to see another Ghostbusters film. I don't want to see another fucking Alien film. Make new IPs. I like don't give a shit anymore. Like stop reusing. Like I say this as an enormous Spider-Man fan. I don't want any more Spider-Man films. Because every time you do this, you're stopping the next Spider-Man, quote unquote, from coming out. You're stopping the next big IP from coming out. I want to see more original things coming out. And I think someone did an analysis. Like they're very, I don't know. I feel like indie films are like the only place where you can really find that anymore. Like whatchamacallit, Ready Player One is like the embodiment of like, is just the embodiment of how we like consume media now. And everything has to be like its own cultural icon. And we have to recycle the same thing over and over again. God forbid we ever attempt a new story. Let's watch The Iron Giant for the 50th fucking time.
Yo, let's be fair. The Iron Giant is fucking dope though, isn't that?
It's a good film. It's I don't think it was like, well, no, yeah, I think it was good. I don't like extremely love it or extremely hate it.
Oh, but to be clear, I do agree with your point and understand it that like it like Ready Player One in my mind it's just like reference central. Like, if you want to see if your shit is reference, go to there and see if you can like spot it like it's like a where's Wally. It's like, oh, where's the Gundam, where's the Iron Giant, where's the whatever shit. In terms of new IPs, I think so. I agree with your point about indies, but I do feel like you have to look a bit. But there is some like interesting new IPs, at least of new adaptations. Like an example being the Castlevania series on Netflix, which I fucking love to death, and which I'm trying to like peer pressure you to watch.
I already
right?
saw season 1. We've been over this.
But you haven't seen season 2, 3, and 4 though. It's fucking dope. It gets bigger and better.
I can't deal with like the stilted dialogue, and I mean it was all right. It was okay for one season. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I started watching Terror after you recommended it.
Wait, Terror?
The Terror, I think, is the official title.
The Terror. Wait, was it?
This guy literally recommended me a TV show and doesn't remember it.
Okay, shut the fuck up. Oh, the series on AMC. Okay, thank you. Oh god,
yes, I'm halfway through it.
Are you liking it so far? Halfway. Damn.
I think the writing took like it's very disorganized in the center. Like, have you seen it?
No, I got it up to like I was like 2 episodes away from the ending, but I didn't finish it.
Oh, okay. No spoilers, but okay, yeah. So this will be semi spoilers for any listeners, but the Dr. Goodsir, for some reason, at a random episode, he just becomes like kind of cheeky, and it never happens again. He just goes back to being like kind of beta, which it just comes out of nowhere. You're
really showing off your internet culture when you're like bring out these terms of like beta. So he's like,
listen,
damn.
I don't like the term, but there's no way for me to instantly paint a picture in the head of
passive like.
Yeah, way to make me sound like a degenerate. The writing is just kind of inconsistent. Like fucking Chernobyl guy punches Mr. Amazing Jaw, and they like have beef, and then like the next day it's like, yo, I threw my buddies a carnival, and he's like they don't have beef suddenly. I don't understand. Like there's writing inconsistencies that I keep like seeing happening that like kind of irk me. There's also like his sickness also comes from nowhere. It's never explained how he falls ill. It's just like one day he's like, I couldn't even tell what the fuck he was doing. I thought he was just like being lazy and wanted to drink himself to death. It wasn't even clear in the beginning when he announced that he's leaving that he was sick. He makes no indication of it. Like a lot of things are just not made clear. Like they're not communicated effectively to the audience.
Okay.
But as a story in and of itself, like everything else, like and I say this as somebody that really does not like watching period pieces. Like I really don't.
I want to ask you about that later.
I've really enjoyed this story because one, it's a Lost World story, which Lost World genre, anything. Good luck finding that in this, this year or whatever, this century. No one ever does anything in that space anymore. Very.
I feel like you have the Dune adaptation to look forward to at least, right? From Apple.
I read the first. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna watch the movie, but I read the first 100 pages of Dune a long time ago, and I didn't enjoy it. But I think that was more to the writing style and less about like the story itself. But I know this is gonna be contentious for some people. I don't consider space stories Lost World stories, if that makes sense.
Wait, but my understanding of Dune is that like you're going to another planet that's presumed to be like uninhabited, and come across like whole culture of people. Like it doesn't like count as like beat for beat Lost World.
It is, but it's not the Lost World that I look forward to. I look forward to Lost World of this world.
So like what, like a Lost World that's like contained inside Earth, like
yes, it has to be of Earth in my opinion. I think I don't know. I treat
okay in that case, and like the whole like calling it Lost World is a bit of a misnomer because it's more like what, like lost culture or something. Because like if we're calling it Lost World, I feel like Dune fits that more properly than like fucking Jurassic Park or some shit, right?
Jurassic Park isn't a Lost World.
Oh, it's not?
No, I mean, if you want, you can call the second Jurassic Park movie named Lost World. You can call that a Lost World genre flick because they're going into something that's uninhabited. I think that fits the definition a little better, but even that I think is kind of dicey. I take it back. No, Dune. I mean, in that I don't remember enough of Dune to verify your explanation for it. But if that is what it is,
no. But in terms of like just like basic like premise and story things like that, I feel like Dune will probably fit more Lost World, like just like it'd be more fitting of the name than like Jurassic Park or the other.
It does.
Like,
I just think that
because it is actually a Lost World.
It does. I agree. I just think that set dressing matters, and Lost World historically comes from Victorian era dudes on ships going to like Antarctica or Latin American countries and stuff, or like African countries, stuff like that. When you like paint it with like a space sci-fi coat, I think that set dressing influences how you take in the story. I think that matters.
Okay, so now I'm very curious. Would you consider Black Panther a Lost World or no?
In theory, yes. Practically, no.
Why not?
I have enough of an understanding of it just based off of pop culture or whatever.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, it's me and Marvel.
I'm gonna force you to sit down and watch Black Panther because I really liked it.
I'm not gonna fucking watch Black Panther.
Come on.
No, if I'm not watching, no. Marvel will be its own conversation.
If you want, I'll make you some French fries with vegetable oil so that way you can eat it and like not die.
I can't eat vegetable oil. I can only have olive oil. You got it mixed up. I'm already
okay. Then I got olive oil for you.
It's too late. You already okay. Anyways, no, I don't consider that Lost World because then it's. I think when you discover a culture or a civilization that's technologically advanced, it becomes something different at that point. Like it's not Lost World has a connotation of like something ancient, whereas Black Panther is like futuristic. That's like Wakanda is a futuristic city.
Yeah. It's called Afrofuturism, but because it's what I want to ask you because like it is like secluded from the world. You're discovering it on Earth. It is in Africa and it's been discovered, but they were self-sufficient for vibranium and like blah blah blah. I was kind of curious if that would like kind of like fit your definition. Okay, so it has to be ancient. Man, it's such a narrow genre, Lost World. Fucking hell.
It is. I mean, it was primarily really big in like, with Robinson Crusoe and stuff when like people didn't know the scope of the world and we were still discovering like lands and stuff that excited the imagination.
Also like novels like Gulliver's Travels or like
yeah, exactly. But now, now that we've mapped every square inch of the earth, basically,
not the ocean,
but on land, I guess people look to space as the next great frontier, which is unfortunate because I personally don't find space stories that interesting unless aliens are involved. But I mean, teach their own.
Oh, fair. Well, I'm curious. Have you ever seen a space horror movie?
Alien is a space horror movie.
Yeah,
It's a
and
haunted house movie that takes place in space.
no, I know, but like, I don't know if you've seen like a space horror movie where like where the villain is like humanity, where like you know like astronauts go insane, one of them like kills the others and blah blah blah. Like in those kind of short stories, like do you find those entertaining or no?
I don't even think I understand what you're describing.
So like you imagine like a basic story when you have like five astronauts, you know, they're left adrift at space. They think Earth is dead or whatever, and you know one of them, you know, gets really crazy and starts killing the others. Becomes a kind of like, you know, kind of like murderer, like kind of like chasing plot, but
Oh,
in
I mean,
space.
the only I haven't seen anything like that. The closest thing I've seen is Planet of the Apes and The Martian that kind of fit what you're describing, but
Oh wait, how about Interstellar? Have you seen that one?
I haven't.
It's long as hell, but I liked it. Though admittedly I'm a Nolan fanboy, so I understand that's like I worship all his
I'm like
movies.
ambivalent about Nolan. I'm not excited to see his films.
I want to sit you down and make you watch Tenet. Come
No.
on.
I already promised you I'd watch Lord of the Rings.
But you want to watch Lord of the Rings. That doesn't count. Okay,
I know that's fine.
okay.
Watch it.
Tenet or Black Panther, you choose.
I don't understand this like obsession with forcing, and this is not even a you thing. This is like everyone thing. Why I don't understand why we're all like obsessed with getting people to like the media.
Not like, but just experience it, right? Because even if you think it's shit, I still want to hear why you think it's shit.
Oh, that's more fair than
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Because
okay,
like,
just don't hate me if I watch Tenet and I'm like, wow, this sucks.
that's listen. If you want to give me a reason, be like, yeah, that's totally fucking fair. Like for example, I forced Market to watch JoJo, and she gave me paragraphs on how it's shit, and I was like, hey, fair enough. I disagree, but hey, thanks for trying it.
Of course, you would force somebody to watch JoJo.
Specifically, JoJo's Part 5, which by the way, JoJo's Part 6 is on the way.
So there's this really underground anime called JoJo where
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
there's a bunch of JoJo stars, and there's like 5 of them. Okay, wait, but so they're all their names start with there's Jonathan and there's Joseph, and they also have like these
Shut
things
the fuck up.
and like so all the stories are like not interconnected.
Oh my
But like
god.
so you gotta understand is that everything's a JoJo reference everywhere. And yeah, that's basically JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's
Shut up.
Yeah, that's
Listen.
literally never watched an episode.
Okay, you're not wrong. Everything you say is accurate. There's more to it though, and the memes are top tier.
I'm okay. My anime watching is purely, hardcore shonen trash.
What is your? Because I remember you're a Hunter x Hunter fan, Dragon Ball.
I tried rewatching Hunter x Hunter. It's not watchable as a grown adult now. It's something that I would only watch as like a teenager.
Have you tried tackling One Piece or no?
I did when I was like 13. I got through like 300 episodes of One Piece, and then it hit like the Impel Down arc, and then I was like, wow, the pacing is horrendous. And now I just like read the wiki occasionally because I wanted to see the story end, but Oda is intent on making sure that the story ends in like 2040.
Wait, but we never tried like going through the manga to like, to like not deal with the pacing problems with the fillers or whatever?
No, because the story, it just looked really dumb. Like after the time skip, like why did Nami and Robin's boobs get bigger? Like there and hockey as like a power system just never made sense to me. It just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like there was I think the spirit of the show fundamentally changed, which was part of the reason I lost interest. Like it stopped. It became less of an adventure story and more of like a battle story, in my opinion. Like there was much less emphasis on like the fun adventure aspect of it. And it became very, I don't know, just tonally, it just was not the same. Which I guess you have to accept that for any show that goes that long, I guess.
As someone who's never even made it past that one arc where like when you first come across Nami with like the guy who has like a sawfish head, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh god, you didn't even get past like episode 30 or something.
No. I don't know why. I just couldn't get past it. I lost interest. I might try to reapproach the manga because I've been getting back into manga recently, which you can also read on the Remarkable Tablet, not sponsored, but open to it. Shut the fuck up.
Product placements don't come cheap. We got to bleep that out.
Listen. They have to know we're interested in the first place, right? I don't want to send an email and come off cringe, okay? I already know I came across cringe before, but that's in the past. That's past, Julia.
Off cringe for the past however long this conversation's been going on. I can't believe I'm actually letting my my real voice come out on the airwaves here, so people can hear all of my stupid opinions.
Says the man who already has like two like videos of him acting like Crocodile Dundee, fucking like exploring like the outback of like upstate New York or some
Crocodile
shit.
Dundee recording bird calls and nukes.
Yeah.
What a fucking Steve Irwin we have here, clearly. All right. I think that is the ending of, what are we calling this, episode 0, episode 1, the prologue.
Episode -2. Welcome to the shitstorm, boys.
I just think that makes numbering so complicated. Why would you start at -2?
Why not? We have to innovate, try something new. We have to be.
People are gonna think it's episode 2 because they're gonna see -2 and be like, oh, it's episode -2 or whatever.
But then
Where's
when
episode 1?
but then when they see episode -1 and episode 0, it's like, oh, then they'll understand the negatives.
I mean, you said you were gonna do all the editing, so I'm gonna leave that nonsense to you. But if it ends up being -2, I'll tell you that's done forever.
Fair enough. Goodbye to all. Send us your hates in the email, nerdytangents1@gmail.com.